And the second one you've got there, I can't argue with Dixie Chicken by Little Feet.
No, it is for many reasons. The thing about music is like once you discover something that's great, you kind of go backwards. So for me, I discovered things like Blackfoot, Nazareth, obviously a big Nazareth fan.
Yeah.
So I read interviews with those bands. Whenever I found little tidbits, I would sort of, like who's your inspirations? Like we're talking about now, who's my inspirations?
Yeah.
And I went back. Everybody was saying Little Feet is great, So I checked out Little Feet, and lo and behold, I totally am a geek when it comes to slide guitar. And when I heard Lowell George, the slide guitarist of Little Feet, I was in love, And when I finally met Manny, many years later, Manny Charlton from Nazareth, we recorded together, and then he told me a story about Lowell George. They were touring together in the 1970s.
Right.
And Manny had lost his slide, like this little metal thing that you use on your finger when you play slide, and Manny had lost it, so he didn't have one. And Manny said, well, in the 70s, it wasn't like today, that you can go into any old town and there would be like 6-7 guitar shops to select from. No, there was not one guitar shop, And he said, Lowell George told him, oh yeah, you should go into a hardware store. You should ask for a mechanical wrench socket. When you have like these metal wrenches for taking out screws and things like that, you have this wrench sockets they are round, and you have different sizes, so you can always find one to fit on your pinky finger or whatever you play with. So, and Lowell George used to do that, you see. So when he was touring, he used a metal wrench socket for his slide that he used on his pinky, and he got insane sounds out of it, because obviously that metal socket is about 3 times as heavy as the standard slide that you can get. And I'm sure Lowell George also used a lot of other bottlenecks, like...
They used to use pill bottles, didn't they? Was it aspirin bottles?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. They used anything they came over, I'm sure. But Manny, actually, when I was at the studio, one of the first times, I was wondering about that, because there was a metal wrench sockets on top of his lap steel guitar. And I said, well, what are you using that for, Manny? And he says, that's my slide. And he says, it is spectacular, the sounds you get out of it, because it sounds heavy when you have this big metal thing lying on top of the strings, What I like about these bands as well, like they always had a good story to go along with the song.
Yes.
It's not only a great melody and a great slide performance, it's a great word.